Her voice was barely louder than the wind, but the words cut deeper than any blade. The ranch house stood alone on the plains, miles from the nearest town. Dust pressed against the windows. The sun was going down, staining the sky blood red. Jacob Hale hadn't planned for this. He was a rancher, quiet, weathered, known for keeping to himself after his wife died years ago. Folks in town said grief had hollowed him out. Others said he was dangerous when crossed. Most just left him alone. The woman sat on the edge of the bed, hands clenched in her skirt. Her name was Clara. She had arrived that morning, half dead, bruised, running from men who would not stop hunting her. Jacob had given her water, bandaged her ribs, offered a place to hide for the night. That was all it was supposed to be. But now the room felt smaller. The silence heavier. Clara looked at him with fear, not wild fear, but the kind that came from experience. "I've seen men change when they think they're owed something," she said. "You helped me. I'm grateful. But don't use that against me." Jacob didn't move. Outside, a horse snorted. Somewhere far away, a gunshot echoed. Hunters, maybe. Or worse. He finally spoke, his voice low. "You think I brought you here for that?" She swallowed. "I don't know what to think anymore." Jacob turned away, jaw tight. Memories flooded back. His wife's eyes, the way she trusted him, the way she died believing the world could still be kind. "You're safe here," he said. "That's all." Then came the pounding on the door. 3 men. Dusty coats. Guns on their hips. Smiles too sharp. "We know you're hiding her," the leader said. "She belongs to us." Jacob stepped onto the porch, blocking the doorway. "She doesn't belong to anyone," he said. The men laughed. "Every woman belongs to someone," the leader replied. "Question is, who's it gonna be tonight?" Jacob's hand moved. The first shot rang out like thunder. By morning, the porch was stained dark. 2 men lay dead. The third crawled away, screaming promises of revenge. Jacob stood over them, breathing slow, controlled. Not rage. Purpose. Clara watched from inside, shaking. She expected him to turn back to her afterward, to look at her differently now that blood had been spilled. But he didn't. He reloaded calmly. "Check the horizon. They'll come back," he said. "More of them." "Why did you do it?" she asked. "You could have let them take me. No one would have known." Jacob finally met her eyes. "Because letting them take you would have made me worse than them." By noon, riders appeared, 6, then 8. Word had spread. A rancher killing men who thought they could take what they wanted. They called him a monster. A murderer. Jacob stood his ground. The fight that followed was brutal. Bullets tore through wood. Horses screamed. Men fell. When it was over, the plains were silent again. Jacob was wounded. Blood soaked his shirt. Clara ran to him, catching him before he fell. "You didn't owe me this," she said, tears streaming. "You didn't owe me anything." Jacob smiled faintly. "No," he said, "but I owed myself." Days later, the town came. Sheriffs. Witnesses. Questions. Clara told them everything. About the men. About the threat. About the rancher who never touched her, never even crossed the line she begged him not to cross. The charges were dropped. Jacob became something else after that. Not a legend. A warning. Outlaws learned the story fast. There was a rancher on the plains who would kill before he ever took advantage. And Clara. She stayed, not because she was saved, but because she chose to. And every night, when the wind howled outside the ranch house, Jacob remembered her words. And knew he had answered them the only way a man still worth something could.